Good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 14th of May. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, yesterday we didn't see a retracement. Obviously, the inflation number came in better than expected, and the market went up significantly. We started the day with 60-minute sell signals fixed on ES and NQ and YM, and they're all still fixed. So I'm still expecting to see some retracements here. It could be that we're just going to go up for another day, but if that's the case, then we'd probably fail sell signals, and that would be pretty unusual, or at least these quality sell signal failing. This kind of quality sell signal failing is not that unusual. This would be. So I'm still leaning towards seeing some retracement. We will see how it goes. All right, looking at NQ and ES made all of the running yesterday. In fact, RTY and RTY didn't make a new high yesterday, and YM didn't either. Or at least we made one, I think, at the very start of the day or the end of the previous day, but haven't made one since. So basically, yesterday's move was pretty much all tech. Although, obviously, part of the thing that was dragging Dow down was United Healthcare, which has been doing rather badly, but of course that wasn't dragging RTY down, and that didn't make a new high either. So still leaning towards seeing that retracement. Looking at DAX and ESTX, we didn't make a new high on DAX yesterday either, and we've made a very marginal new one on ESTX this morning, but we didn't make one on ESTX either. So basically, really, that was mostly a rally in tech, and I'm not expecting that to last. I'm thinking that's probably going to fail in the next day or so, and then we'll see the retracement that we haven't seen yet. All right, looking at SPX ADP, we still peaked out last week, and I'm expecting to see some more retracement on that probably, but we will see how that goes. Looking at the daily chart, we lost all the negative divergence on the ES, SPX, everything. On the daily RSI 5, we have broken over the 200 DMA. I've got the 200 DMA at 5864 on the ES chart, and I've got that at 5752 on the on the SPX chart. So we gapped over it, and we had a second close above. Now, I did say that we were likely to see, if we saw a breaking conversion of the daily middle band, 200 DMA as resistance, then the chances of a high retest would rise considerably. I'm now leaning very much towards seeing that high retest. I am thinking, though, if we'd see a retracement, then coming back 150 handles to test the back test the 200 DMA would be the obvious place to go. So I'm leaning towards seeing that. We shall see. All right, looking at the 15-minute chart, we're still on the 15-minute RSI 14 sell signal. That hasn't made target either, although the RSI 5 sell signal did. I've been looking for trend lines, not an awful one on SPX here, but I am thinking if that holds, then we might see a little higher today. That might involve going up another 30 or 40 points. We'll see whether that delivers. On the Qs, obviously RSI 5 is looking very stretched. Having said that, on Qs, that isn't that unusual. We've seen a few of these over the last few years, but I am leaning towards seeing some retracement here in the pretty near future. Again, leaning towards seeing a retest the all-time high. Looking at the Qs on 15-minute, again, I've got a decent looking trend line. Again, it is a little higher. We've not quite hit it yet. Looking at Dia, Dia wasn't rising yesterday, but we've seen nice breaks up. Again, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest to the high here. I'm really leaning towards seeing retests across the board. On the 15-minute, RSI 14 sell signal has fixed and is still in progress. Oh, just to mention, the one on the Qs failed, which was the only one on the 15-minute. But looking at Dia, we got a potential trend line here, and that one actually has already been hit. So I'm wondering about a test of this rising support. We shall see. All right, let's have a look at IWM. Right, IWM on the daily. Obviously, we lost the RSI 5 divergence. We're getting pretty close to this declining resistance, which I've got up in about the 211.5 area. Am I leaning towards seeing retest of this high here? We could do. Not necessarily, I don't think, because I'm really not looking for bull market for the rest of the year. I mean, I think people are very relieved about what's happening in China, but to be honest, an awful lot has changed in the economy this year. The US is still likely to be in recession, where there's still a pretty good chance of a bonds crisis, which is something I've been writing about. I was looking for a high retest here, probably as a second high of either a double top or as the top of a range. I'm not really expecting to see this go an awful lot higher, but we will see. Right, no 15-minute divergence on IWM. Don't have a decent looking resistance trend line at the moment. We will see, or at least we're over the current one. This could be a bearish overthrow, but I'm not really seeing that on the bigger picture. Looks like Dyer is setting up an IHS. Let's have a quick look. Bear with me. Not really. It's too big. If you look at it, I mean, you don't really get. I mean, once you get past the 61.8, which we've already done, really, it's too big to be an IHS. So this one would be quite a long way beyond it. It's you can't have a reversal pattern. Can't generally dominate the a large majority of the trend it is reversing. So I would lean against that. I mean, we do have that established resistance up here at about the 428 area, but I don't think that's going to be an IHS for me. All right, let's have a look at DAX. DAX has made a higher high. We got a possible weak RSI 5 sell signal brewing there. Looking at Nikkei has gapped over the 200 EMA and is looking higher. We may see a retest of the high on here too. No current negative divergence there on the RSI 5. All right, let's have a look at DX. Now, DX, this was actually a pretty important declining resistance trend line here, and so far that's tested exactly and is holding. That is likely pattern resistance. We could be reversing back down to retest the low from here. And I'm wondering about that. I've got support at the monthly pivot, which we're testing at the moment fairly hard, and I've got rising support from the low, which is in about the 99.6 area. So that's what I'm watching. We did have a 60-minute sell signal that has made target. All right, ZB, this is continuing down at the moment. And if you have a look at the bigger picture chart on this, you can see we've got an IHS here, which is broken up, and we are proceeding to the target. I'm expecting to see a retest of this high here. Now, that's actually kind of significant because this was the low on TNX, which was given the credit for the administration delaying most of the big tariffs. So this is actually seen by the administration as an extreme, but I'm thinking this is probably going to head lower to that level and continue going lower. We will see. All right, CL, still got a target in 65.50 area, still on the way, and still looks like it's probably going to make that target. NG, we've broken down from this rising wedge. I think this may be a bear flag, and if that is a bear flag, then there's a pretty good chance this is topping out here, and we could well be setting up a retest of the low here at 3. Ideally, we'd head down to 3.4, have a bit of a rally or retest the high, and then continue down from there. Looking at GC, GC has finally managed to get lower. I was wondering if it was going to make the lower low under this level here, and it's made that, which is great, because this is supporting the ABC bull flag setup theory. I'm expecting this to go a little lower. I was thinking maybe 3100 to 3150, so that's on the way now. SI, we broke above the declining resistance here, so we lost the channel, and that means the channel support is no longer going to be a target here. So could this be a larger channel? Yeah, it could. But if that's the case, I'll be looking for a target really in about the 31.4 area. We will see. Palladium, we broke down for a double top and may not be making that target. We've not been seeing Palladium move with gold this morning. On platinum, possible double top here, but showing no signs of breaking down at the moment. HG, this head and shoulders pattern turned into a very nice looking falling wedge, and I was mentioning yesterday that this had 70% odds of breaking up, and at the moment it's breaking up. Isn't necessarily going to get us back up into this high, but it might. Your USD, head and shoulders made target, and it's been rallying. GBP USD just broke down for a double top, and this has been rallying too. This may not make that target. It might just reject back up to the high. USD JPY made the IHS target and is going down. We had a series of sell signals, sell and buy signals I was talking about yesterday, which have mostly made target. USD CAD, 6-minute sell signal there has reached the possible near miss target. No obvious larger pattern forming here, but we could have a small head and shoulders forming, setting up to take this down again. Australian dollar, possible topping action. NZUSD, hard to say, could be a bull flag. KC, this looks like a bull flag forming at the moment. I don't have an obvious support trend line for it. On SB, SB, possible bottoming action. I wouldn't go any further than that. CC, CC is double bottom. It's gone up to a higher high. Maybe this double bottom is going to play out to target. If so, I've got the target in about the 11,250 area. ZW, ZW, we've got a slight move lower here. Do we have on there a test of the main support trend line? I was getting a question on Twitter about this yesterday, saying that it may not hold. It may not hold a double bottom here because obviously the demand, there's too much wheat and demand is too high. That may be the case. But we do have a technical double bottom set up here, and I'll be watching it with interest anyway. This would make a nice double bottom if it can make a double bottom. If it can't, then obviously it won't. I am leaning towards on corn, still seeing a test of this 4650, but that wouldn't be the second low of a double bottom. The second low and double bottom would be here, and that's potentially already made. All right, so wheat has made the target here, and potentially could find a low, but obviously it may not. Corn retested this low here. We got a little double bottom. Doesn't necessarily need to go down any lower. No current positive divergence. On soy. Soy, this has continued higher, so this no longer looks like a double top. 60-minute sell signal reached possible near miss target. On cotton, I was leaning towards seeing a retest of this high here, but if we're going to break down below the monthly pivot and convert it, then we can go lower. On bigger picture, I think there's more of a reason to lean long on cotton, but that doesn't mean, of course, that it's going to go up. Lumber, likely still continuing down. Live cattle has still continued up. And lean hogs, still leaning towards seeing a retest this high here. I'm doubtful about this head and shoulders making target at this stage, but it's a little double top rather. But we don't have a clear fail error on a double top. We'll see. All right, great. In that case, let's have a quick look at questions. Yeah, no worries, mate. All right, great. In that case, we've still got quite a lot of sell signals. I'm still looking for some retracement. And I gotta say, one thing I'm going to be covering in the crypto webinar here is that this is something I've seen before, and I just wanted to have a look at this. Sometimes when you've got two things which are strongly correlated, which are going in the opposite directions, you find that when one of them hasn't made target and the other one is has a trend which is reversing in the opposite direction, that one of them just passes time and goes sideways while the other one is completing the move. I'm thinking that SPX may be just completing the move while crypto stands aside. This is the lovely rising wedge on Bitcoin, and we've got another on Solana. And Solana went back, retested the high again yesterday, but is the situation weaker? No. Is the pattern holding? Yes. Now, obviously, this could break up today, but it's still, everything I wrote about on Monday is still very much valid. And I think this is just waiting till this move up on equities is complete, and then likely they will both retrace. So we'll see whether I'm right. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. I will catch you guys again tomorrow morning, and take care.